Dear Mama, how are you?
I'm well, thanks, child. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, I was thinking about like the way I am now. There was a point in your life you were my age,
Of course.
you know, and
24 years ago.
24 years ago. Yeah, exactly. And the things that you were doing at my age and the things that I'm doing at my age right now, at 30 years old, I'm 30 years old. And by the time you were 30, you had a completely different life from me. You
Totally.
know, completely. And for me, I want to know, when you see that, let's say I haven't had children yet, you had all your children.
Yes, my last child was at 28.
At 28. You see, me, that's not even an idea in my head at the moment, you know. Like you are already married, whatever you are a couple of years into your marriage. Me, I'm still dealing with talking stages here and there, you know. People give you the ick and then you disappear. And then that's the end of that one, you know. That is on to the next, you know. So for me, I just want to know, are you worried for me? And also, why do you think you or me? When I think about it, I feel like maybe did you do everything too fast? Because me at 30, I'm still thinking, hey, I'm still a child. But you were already completely grown up. You know, you were handling big things. So I want to know why and how.
First of all, let me say, I think times have changed.
Yeah.
It's been 24 years. That's a whole 2 decades.
Yeah.
So you can imagine life has changed. Things have evolved.
Yeah.
So what was priority for me is probably not for you.
Yeah.
What I would say is, I think for me, when I was growing up, obviously I had my ambitions, because I remember I used to say, me, I'll have my child when I'll get married when I'm 26.
Yeah.
You know? And I was hoping that by then I'll have had a good job, been stable.
Yeah.
And then now I'm ready at 26, when I have acquired my dreams or attained something in my life, then I'll start a family. But like I've said, I think the 90s were different.
Completely.
Totally different.
Yeah.
I can't say that I planned to get married.
Yeah.
It just happened. And I met somebody. And I think during our time...
Do you think that you guys used to vet men properly?
No.
Yeah.
Me, I didn't vet.
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. Because, you see, for me, I have to even just see if your vibe is off a little bit, there's something.
I don't think we had time to vet. I think it was the guy who approached you and you thought he was cool, and you looked at him and thought, this one can maintain me.
Yeah.
You went with the flow.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like, for me, I didn't plan. You see, I met somebody, then the next thing, I think relationship kidogo, then you're pregnant, first child.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, then now it's time for me to start life.
Yeah.
Then
when you got pregnant at 19, were you scared?
I don't think I was scared.
What?
I don't think I was
I'm
scared.
30 and I'm scared. Like, I don't understand how at 19...
I wasn't scared. I think for me, what was scary is maybe my parents finding out, and my mother knew I was pregnant already even before I told her, because she looked at my skin tone and thought, you're a bit lighter than you look, so what's going on?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I had to open up.
Yeah.
And say yes.
Yeah.
And then, like we were talking about it yesterday.
Yeah.
For our parents, as long as they knew who you were dating, and this person you presented to them and he looked okay, then that's what happened for me in my case.
Yeah.
So by the time I was 20, I already had my first child.
Yeah.
Then you look at it and say, okay, now that I have my first child, then now I just start life. So I don't think my time we had planned to have a child. It just came.
Yeah.
I can't even say I had... if there was any family planning, maybe it was a coil so that I don't have a child the next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you see, so I can't say it was planned. We never really used to plan. If it came, then it came.
But then also, I think when you think about it, you see, for me, apart from number one, I'm scared that I don't have the right partner. I'm scared that I'm still a child and I don't know how I'm gonna take care of a kid. You just had to figure it out. Once the kid came, you're like,
and I guess I think our men were a bit serious.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
Yeah.
They were a bit serious. I don't think, and if it happened by chance that you got pregnant by a guy and he bailed out, then that was an unfortunate case. But during our times, I think relationships were very, for myself, let me just say.
Yeah.
They were very there to stay.
Like the men were a bit responsible. They've made this young girl pregnant, so they'll stay around.
Of course.
Here now, you have to be like, you're not going anywhere. You know, you have to look for their mother or something, because the chances are that something happened and someone got pregnant does not mean now a guy will stay with you. You know, that's nothing for them.
No, I think our times, you had to be committed to this person. I'm talking about my time, because what I went through, or even the people I grew around, up with, I never saw relationships going the other way. People stayed on. Yeah. We had our kids. Yeah. You know. Yeah. And still had our kids and still had our careers. We were able to manage both. Yeah. Yeah.
And then do you think, like back in the day, was there that thing of, oh, if I'm going to get married to a guy, he has to have this, he has to have money, he has to be rich, you know, he has to drive a nice car. Was it there as much as it is now? Because now the men here, they really like, they have pressure.
I think the most important thing was somebody has a job. Yeah. So you know that this person will be able to take care of you. I don't think I looked at a guy and said, oh, I want my future husband to be a pilot, to be a manager in the bank, to be... Yeah. For me...
And there was not that thing for... You have to pay my bills. You have to do this. You see the way there's nothing like that.
No, there was nothing like that.
So what was happening? You are independent on your own.
I was independent. I mean, because for me, I started working at the age of 19, so I already had my little money. Yeah. So what was important for me is just the growth. You know, I'm here at 19, have this small job. I think I used to earn 3,500
a month.
You know, a month. Wow. And I was still staying at home. And my mother said, the only thing that she wants me to buy in that house is milk and bread. Yeah. For 4 people. Yeah. You know, because I come from a family of 4 people. Yeah. So that really wasn't. And life then was very easy.
So this thing is something that has come up recently.
I mean, like I'm saying, 2 decades is a lot of things have changed.
And what do you think about it?
I'm worried for you people. I am really worried for you people, because you guys, you want to start there. You know, you don't want to go through the motions. You don't want to what's that word?
Build.
You don't want to build.
But let me tell you something that happens. Sometimes you build with a guy, and for us, you can build with a guy, right? And then once he gets to a certain level, he'll drop you. And then he'll go and get someone who is, you know, more where he thinks he belongs now.
But why are you building? Why is it that it's the guy who leaves? Why can't it be the other way?
Because you see, I guess for you guys, you are building each other. Yes. Right? Yes. In this sort of thing, women feel like they're supporting the man in his dreams. And then once they get to a certain point, then they feel like they're left.
And that's why I see the whole problem here, because for me, if at that early age and at that stage, and not that my mother taught me, but I knew I had responsibilities. Yeah. Me, I'm going to do the basics. You know, like buy food, pay the house girl, and then the man is responsible for the bigger things, like to pay rent. Yeah. To do if it's a big shopping for the month. But the little small things, like if I have to buy milk every day, I will not have to ask my husband. Yeah. But I don't know how it is in your generation, whether you expect the man to do that for you.
When us guys were in a generation of allowance. You know, but I'm sure even back then there was no such thing as allowance. Like
allowance from who?
Like this is from your husband. He says this is your money for you for you to take care of this and this and this. But not us guys, they want crazy allowances like 300,000.
No, no. If there was an allowance, then you sit down and budget for the month and say, okay, at the end of the month, how much money do you think you'll need for shopping? You know, so that was the kind of budget. But for bills, the man is responsible.
Yeah.
He does not expect me to pay rent and to pay school fees.
Yes.
That for me didn't happen.
Yeah.
If it was major bills, school fees, that's his responsibility. Paying the house rent, that's his responsibility. Buying the family car, that is his money.
Yes.
So,
I 100% agree.
I although a bit you could keep your own money, like to buy your little clothes or to do, you know, the things that you need to buy and shop for as a woman.
Yeah.
Then that was from my money.
Yeah. But now also, what do you think about this whole, you see, back then they had stay-at-home mothers, right? Which has been there from time to time. It's been there from the beginning of time, right?
Because I was a
stay-at-home mother as well.
Yeah.
Now, on the way it is right now in our generation, it's very hard to be a stay-at-home mother because it's not cheap. You know, you need like a 2-income household nowadays.
Yeah.
So what do you think about mothers who want to be stay-at-home mothers, but they can't, they have to be working?
In this generation?
Yeah.
Hi, that will be a bit difficult. I think for a woman, I keep saying, I think it's important to have your own money. And unless you're probably working from home where you can make money as you stay home.
Yeah.
And now things have changed. It's possible for you in this generation to do that. For us, it wasn't. You really had to go physically to work.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's possible if you can manage both.
Yeah.
Work and take care of your kids, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because you will find that during our times, or during my time, if you got pregnant, you only had probably 3 months of maternity leave. And then after that, you're back to work fully. So you see, your kids are being brought up by house helps.
Yeah.
And it was not a choice. You just had to go back to work after 3 months. So you find your children are growing up basically being brought up by a house help. And a lot of things happen that you don't know. So by grace of God, your kids will just grow up. You know, but in your generation, and which I think is something that is workable and is possible, you can be a stay-at-home mom if you can work from home. So there's an advantage to it.
Yeah. You know what I really admired about you is every single day you took us to school and you picked us up every single day for about 18 years.
Yeah.
And this is happen every single day without fail. So that kind of commitment, you see, when you start thinking about having kids, and I see how much commitment it takes a lot.
It does.
18 years of picking and dropping children, and you were always on time, and you know, we were never late to school. So for me, I'm like that. But do you think that it enabled you to be a stay-at-home mother, to be more that what's the word, involved?
I think the reason for me why I decided to be a stay-at-home mother was because now I had the two of you.
Yeah.
Almost, I think, was it 3 years difference?
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
And then you've started going to school.
Yeah.
One is going this opposite direction from the other.
Yeah.
And I think for me, with my phobia of having my kids being driven to school by somebody else, it brought kidogo fear in me. So I decided, you know what, because these children are young, let me leave work, which my boss was actually very scared because I was 26.
Yeah.
And working in the bank.
Yeah. And
she's like, at 26, where are you going? You know. So I decided, let me sacrifice my career for a period to take care of the children. And for me, that was more fulfilling because I dropped each one of you.
Yeah.
Dropped your elder brother, came back home for you.
Yeah.
And I was involved.
You were very involved, yeah.
I knew what was going on with my children.
Yeah.
When they were young. So I grew up. That's how I managed to grow up.
Yeah.
With you. So, and then in the middle of that, then I got my third child.
Yeah.
So can you imagine 3 children?
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying for now, it would be easy for you.
Yeah.
Because you can work from home and
still be an involved mother.
But
yeah,
then you had to now
pick. It was more you couldn't, because what you're saying, it's so hard. When I think about it, if I had to now say, okay, I'm gonna have a child, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice my career, that's a very big decision.
That's a very big decision.
You know, and then you did that with the faith in God, knowing that you can pick up later.
Yes.
For some people, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You know, they can't be able to go back to work.
Yeah.
There's no job, or there's, you know, you've been at home for too long. People, they need to know, you know, where you've been.
Yeah.
So it's like, these are things that I sit back and I realize our mothers made huge sacrifices. And these are one of the sacrifices, right?
We did. And I think family was very important. And especially, I think when I get it from my parents, especially my mother,
yeah,
she was also very involved.
Yeah.
So for me, I think I wanted, and you know, like when children, with kids, their growth, especially when they are young,
yeah,
that is the foundation of their growth. So you really have to be involved. Because if things go wrong from there, then trying to catch up, and especially if you're going to have to leave a help with your children, it was hard. And for me, that's why sacrifices like that, and a lot of us made those sacrifices.
It's a lot, yeah, it's a lot. This is why I'm sitting down and I'm thinking, where I'm at 30. Hey, first of all, I'm just trying to figure out what is good for me already. And then now I have to think about my partner, I have to think about children. I feel like it would be a bit too much at this moment. You know?
It would, because like I said when we started, 2 decades is a long time. Things have changed. Yeah. A lot of things have changed. And like I said, I'm actually worried for you guys. I'm actually worried for your generation, because
what are you worried about?
That you cannot take care of yourselves. How are you going to take care of another human being?
That's true. Let me not lie to you. Me, myself, I'm still learning how to take care of myself. You know, I'm still embracing myself, who I am as a person. I'm still figuring out who I am. And then I'm still figuring out what kind of career I want to have. You know, I'm still figuring out what kind of lifestyle I want to live. You know, I'm so consumed in me that it's so hard for me to think about someone else.
And I think that is where you guys go wrong, because you already jump. Yani, you don't want progress. You're already looking at yourself ahead of time. For us, you grow. It was growth. You know, if I'm earning 3,500 now, that was my first salary. I moved on to 6,000. From 6,000, I moved, you know. So there was time for growth. You guys, you want to start with 250,000.
Yeah, it's true. But is there something wrong with that?
I'm not saying there's nothing. I think for me there is.
Yeah.
Because you need to go through motions. I'm not saying it's bad to start high.
Yeah.
But you guys, your high is too high. You need to suffer kidogo down here.
Yeah, that's the thing. Us guys don't want to suffer. You know why? I feel like, who wants to suffer? Who really wants to suffer?
I'm not really saying suffer in that way.
Yeah.
But I think when you start small, you grow.
Yeah, no, it's true. I get it. Because even that's just the nature of life.
I might be wrong, but I'm looking at it from my perspective and how things were for us. You knew, if I have, like I said, if I have a 3,500 job, I want to do 6,000. That difference is a lot. And for us, it was a lot. I mean, a difference of 2,500 was a lot. And life was not that expensive.
The things that you can get with 3,500 back then,
I mean,
is not even what you can use in a day here.
No.
Nowadays,
and for me, like, I remember my first job. I was living in an SQ where I was paying, I think, 1,200.
Yeah.
For rent. So
I wish. Oh,
even with a salary of 6,000, that was a lot of money. I still had change at the end of the month.
Yeah, there's transport as well. Transport wasn't that expensive.
There was transport, matatu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's 3,500. Right now it's like that's slavery.
So I'm worried for real. I'm worried.
You're worried.
I'm worried.
What is the main thing that worries you? Just about me as your daughter. What is it that you see? Because I know 30 is you. By 30 you had everything, but I feel like I'm fulfilled, right? Mm-hmm. But then for you, obviously, because we didn't have the same achievements, right, at the same age, or you will say achievements, right? Mm-hmm. What worries you the most?
What worries me the most is how you guys going to, especially for you.
Yeah.
By the time, and that is why I don't rush you. Yeah. I'm not going to rush you and say, oh, now you're 30, please get a man.
Yeah.
Because I don't think you have that patience to even stay with a guy, and me, I would stay yeah. Have time to go through breakups and learn what is it that I get from this guy, or what. I don't think you guys have time to even sit down and see how to build a relationship.
To be fair, Mom, men are scary, right? Men are very scary.
But the men could be saying the same thing about you.
Yeah, but me, the most I can do is dump you. The most a man can do is kill me. You know, so me, when I look at you, I want to see your red flags.
Immediately.
Yeah, it's better for me to know, because I'm looking out for those red flags. I'm not coming into a meeting with a man with an open heart and with a jovial like energy that I'm excited. No. I'm looking at him and I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you? And I don't know if that's healthy. Yeah.
First date.
Yeah, immediately. Like, I need to know what's wrong with you so that I can see if I can put up with it or not.
Then me, I don't know how I'm going to help your life, because I think when you're beginning a relationship, you should be very open. You guys go for the negatives even before the positives.
Yeah.
Which is a wrong thing. And I think you need to change your mindset.
But to be fair, I didn't see many healthy relationships growing up. Where a relationship where I can see this thing works, this man loves this woman. Like this.
From your generation or from my generation?
From your generation. Uh-huh. You guys didn't have that many healthy relationships. There were not that many healthy relationships around us. I wouldn't look and say, okay, this looks like it's working.
But we stayed. I mean, I don't think any relation. I don't think every relationship.
You stayed sometimes when you shouldn't have.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, that I agree. But there's no relationship that is 100%. And that is what you guys need to really understand. When you meet somebody, be willing to accept their flaws and work on them. Because if you start with a negative,
me, once I get the ick, it's like, I can't really want to talk to you.
How many icks are you going to run away from?
300. All of them, I will run away. What I'm saying is that you got your happily ever after at the end.
At 50.
At 50. Mm-hmm. You see, so it does take a while to meet the right person.
It does, but what I'm saying is this. Even with my first relationship, I did not look at negatives. They were there, yes.
Yeah.
But the focus was more on having a unified kind of relationship where, fine, I know these are your weaknesses, but I'm not going to build my relationship, or I'm not going to focus on those weaknesses.
Yeah.
Me, I'll move on.
Yeah.
You if you have weaknesses, you deal with them.
Yeah.
For me, my focus is my family.
Yeah.
Keeping my family together. And as much as some of us, maybe that wasn't the right thing to do, but it held the family together.
Yeah.
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 And like you people, first, even before, Yani, your first instinct is to take off.
You know, let me tell you what. Have you heard the saying that Nairobi is one big bedroom? I don't know if it's the same way it was for when back then, where people were just all over the place, all over on each other, just, you know, this day it's this person, tomorrow it's Caroline, the next day it's Elizabeth, the next day
No, I think for us, our growing up was we didn't have peer pressure, first of all. We grew up in a community, and all of us had to just do things the right way from our parents. You know, we were brought up in a community where my neighbor's mother, if they found me doing something wrong, they can discipline me. Our parents really didn't, I don't think we had those sit-ups like you, where I will my mother will talk to me about our relationship.
I know, yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah.
It's different. Now, our mothers, me as your mother, will talk to you about our relationship. But I think for us, we didn't have that kind of peer pressure.
Yeah.
No.
So you think that's peer pressure, not just loose morals? Or the morals have decreased over the years?
They have decreased.
It's
I can
true.
say they have decreased.
And that's why would I want to be so open to knowing this person whose intentions are not good for me? You see what I mean? I can't just be having intentions for everybody who the intention for me is I just want one thing and then they're gone. Am I not going to get hurt?
Of course you will. And that's why I'm saying, like I said, I'm worried.
It's very worrying. Let me not lie to you. Me, as I sit down and I think about it, I'm like, I wish I grew up in probably your generation, because the family unit was so valued as compared to how it is now. People are very okay with being a baby mama, or as long as they don't want that unity, and I don't know how it's gonna be. And that's why for me, I really want to do things the way you did them. I want to get married and then I want to have children. But that part for marriage before children, that marriage part is where it's wait. Who is this going to be with? That's why people are even thinking about getting donors. They want to cut out the middleman of the man.
I think your generation, what I think is people don't want to be committed.
That's the thing. People don't want to commit to anything, yeah.
Nobody wants to be committed. Everybody wants to be able to have open relationships. I think that's what you guys call them now. I don't think it's sustainable. Maybe it is.
I don't think so. How can it be?
Because then you don't want to be pegged to somebody. I want to be your generation. You want to be, if I don't feel you, I'm gone. I can go jump onto the next.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you
and that's also a little bit traumatizing, like mentally, right?
I don't know how you can hold up with that, because it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So if it's not sustainable, then be on your own.
Like what I'm doing right now. But you see, at the end of the day, the truth is nobody wants to be alone.
No.
I don't think we were built to be alone. I think we were built to have connection, to have family. But I think you just have to, it's about meeting the right person.
There's never a right person.
Really?
There could be a right person, but like I'm saying, and I will insist, you work on each other. You guys have no patience to work on each other.
Yeah.
And that's where I think things go wrong for you. There is no perfect person.
Yeah.
You're not perfect. This other person is not perfect. So what you need is just patience.
Yeah.
To get good out of each other.
Yeah.
Try it. See if
You
it
know
works.
what? I'll with my next talking stage. With my next talking stage, I will try it and see if I can accommodate him a little bit more. But I mean, it's good advice because, as we said, time is moving still, and as a woman, there's that biological clock that ticks in your head, that says, okay, you should be having a child. You should be having a child. Your body even kind of tells you.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the thing that I do want to say is, I've been in relationships before, and I'm so grateful I did not have children with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way I see it, it would have impacted me so negatively. Yes, there would have been a child, and a child is a blessing, but is a child always a blessing?
Yes. I don't think that the issue to do with a child is a child is not a mistake, first of all. And even if you had a child with that person,
Yeah.
the child should never be you should never look at this child and say, I will never wish I had you with this man.
Oh, you don't do that?
No.
Yeah, I would have thought.
No.
I would have been like,
no, because
yeah.
Look at my situation.
Yeah.
I had 3 of you.
Yeah.
I don't regret having my children with the person I had.
Yeah.
Because they're out of, children, leave them out of that space. Whatever issues you had with this person, children should never be put in the middle of it. So, if it would have been okay, you would have brought up this child.
Yeah.
Excuse me, yeah.
But me, in my head, I'm still a child myself. It's teenage pregnancy, even though I'm 30. But in my head, it's like, I don't know. I think us guys, we also see the implications of having children who can be traumatized. We don't want to inflict pain onto our children the way some people have seen it happen in their own lives.
Let me tell you something, my dear daughter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about inflicting.
Sorry.
There is no relationship under this sun that will never have issues. You will never have a perfect relationship. And I think what you people are looking for is perfection.
That's true. I am looking for perfection, yeah.
It will never happen.
Yeah.
It will never happen. You just need to work on each person.
But is it worth it? That's the question.
It's worth it. I mean, what is not worth it?
Yeah. Choosing someone who is 80%, living a life that is, starting slowly and growing slowly, is it all worth it?
Like I will say, and I will say it, there is no 100%. You will never get a person who is 100%, even 80.
Yeah.
You're even 40.
Yeah.
40, 60. If you're 60, and you've really tried. Yeah. So I think you guys need to just stop focusing on 100%. You will never get somebody who is 100%. That one is out of.
I think we're also delusional because we think we're the 100%. We're 100%.
Women are you girls think you're 100%.
It might be because there's no way you can be expecting so much from someone, and you think you're. If you don't feel like you deserve it, So I think women really do. If it's not really necessarily women, but the reason why people want 100, even a man can want, I want this exact thing from my wife. I want her to be a stay-at-home mother, also who brings in money somehow, who also washes my clothes, who washes, everything. A man might want that because he thinks he's 100% and he deserves it.
In your generation?
Yeah.
Washing his clothes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, for men, they want that traditional wife, but who can
which
still bring in...
traditional wife?
Yeah.
Maybe they look at their mothers and...
That's exactly what it is, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's their perspective, while women's perspective is he needs to be, a really rich guy. He needs to provide for me immediately. He needs to, So because they think they're 100%, they think they are worth it. And there's nothing wrong with thinking you're worth it. But I think we need to humble ourselves a little bit. Yes.
And you see, when you come from a family, especially a setup where, like for example, like now, your brothers, when they see me and how I related with them, or how I was a wife to their father, they probably want that kind of a wife.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Person for a wife.
Yeah.
Which is wrong. There might be one or two things that you would want from this person, but they're not your mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not your mother.
Yeah.
So it's good to be a little open-minded and know that people are different. You will not get a wife who is your mother.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because they were not in that relationship themselves. They didn't, like for me, you see, like for me, I was a daddy's girl who was spoiled, right? So you're saying I should also not look for that in a guy.
No. Yeah, I mean, your father is your father. Your husband is, or your boyfriend is your boyfriend. So those are two different scenarios. When your dad is girl, I mean, it's like when you say girls with their sons and men with their daughters.
Yeah.
That's a different relationship.
Yeah.
It's not a relationship that is intimate.
Yeah.
In if you know what I'm saying. So you guys need to kidogo.
Yeah.
Get out of that space.
You know what? I think I'm going to take your advice because you've never been wrong when you're giving me advice sometimes. So you're saying humble myself a little bit.
Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Look for a man you can grow together with.
The thing is, I've done that growing thing before. I'm telling you, then you get to a certain level, then they start looking at you like you're the one who...
I think I need to meet this
my exes.
Yes, I need to meet... I think the next time you're dating somebody, please invite me.
you know, but the thing is, there haven't even been that many, but it was enough to traumatize me. Because there's nothing like thinking.
And you know why?
Yeah.
Because you went with a mindset already.
So you think
if this guy, if he doesn't meet this, probably the way he eats, or probably the way he chooses his food, that's a turn off already. Okay, those can be turn offs already, but I have an open mind. Have an open mind that you can be able to sit down with this person and tell them, by the way, I don't like the way you do these things. Do this one and that. Is it possible to do that?
That's so awkward. But you know what? Maybe I can't. You know, people don't do that enough. People are not honest to their partners. They don't like the way they do certain thing, but they won't tell them. You know.
So
you just get the ick and you go. You see. But I'm going to try and be more patient. Try and see the bigger picture. You know. It will definitely not go the way I want it, the way I'm thinking it will go. But that doesn't mean it won't be beautiful either, you know?
Yeah. I think you need to just be a little patient. I'm not saying be patient to the point where you're feeling like you're losing yourself. No. But a little patient. Kidogo. Kidogo patient.
Yeah.
Kidogo patient. And you see it will work.
Okay. So the worry from our conversation, is the worry still there? You still feel worried? Is it a worry that...
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. It's because even I feel like every other parent is also worried. Parents with Gen Z or millennial kids, they're actually really worried because we're doing things completely differently from how our parents taught us, you know? And to be honest with you, I just think it's because of the circumstances have changed.
I think so. I mean, like I said, it's two decades.
Yeah.
A lot of things have changed. A lot of the way people think have changed. So you're bound also to change with the times. You can't be living in my 90s.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
In this year. Or
yeah.
In the present generation. Yeah. I mean, in the present times.
Yeah.
So I think all this, I can relate it to just times changing.
Yeah. But you'll be okay, I think.
You'll be okay, but
we might be alone.
Yes, you'll be alone, for sure.
We might be alone, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to talk about something I came across, And I'll just read it for you, and then maybe you can give me your opinion, right? It's a mother and daughter dilemma. All right, let me read it. So this lady says that she's got a negative over critical mother. She doesn't know if she's narcissistic or emotionally abusive. Those are strong words, but you can tell me what I'm dealing with. She says, overall in her life, she's doing pretty well for herself. She's left her house and she's living in a much larger city. She has a roof above her head. She's got amazing friends, a supportive boyfriend. She travels and she has a good job. But her herself, she has low self-esteem and anxiety, right? She said, I think I'm starting to think I might be depressed too. Over the years, I've understood more and more that this might be due to how I was raised. She says, I've never been good enough. I was spoiled rotten up until early school and then not sure why that changed after a while. Around her teenage years, I started to regularly compare myself to my best friend. They're still best friends. And she loves her to bits. Then she says, her relationship with her dad was pretty volatile at the time, and she got into a huge argument with him. When she cried, her mom poked her head around the door and said, you think I'm going to come in and hug you and feel sorry for you? No, I'm not going to do that. She said the coldness is just how the family is, that coldness. I've been critically criticized about the way I dress, the way I look, and everything. And she's now in her mid-20s. Every time her mom comes to visit, she'll say how awful she looks, how cheap, tacky, and everything she has on looks, right? She's in great shape and she always tries to look nice. Then she says, I'm criticized for spending money on things, and why don't I save enough money? This is from her mom. Her salary is not big enough. That's what the mom says. The place she lives in is horrible. And why is she not a manager by now? When her ex cheated on her, the mom even kind of apologized to the man. As in what? And then told her, what did you expect? She had mentioned from time to time that her boyfriend was going to leave her because she's not tiny enough. She's always compared to cousins, friends, all of that. So she says, when I overreact and get emotional, she asks me, why are you reacting so strongly and you're exaggerating? She loves to make fun of her, and for a good couple of years, she raised herself. She says, I know my mother has issues herself. Her whole life revolves around the house and my dad, and she knows she's unhappy. She's trying to understand her, but the negativity is too much. So what she's scared of is turning into that kind of mother. But what do you think is the problem here? Because some mothers and daughters really do have this kind of back and forth thing that keeps going on, where they feel overly criticized, overly judged.
Well, that's a heavy one.
Yeah.
Oh, how do I say this? I know a lot of us, I'm talking from my age.
Yeah.
The way our mothers brought us up. When you guys look at it now, you'll think we are narcissists.
Yeah.
But speaking from a point of a mother, what I want or how I want to see my children grow, because I don't think there's any parent who would lead a child
the wrong way.
The wrong way. Most of the things that we do as parents or as mothers to our children, we're just trying to mold them and shape them so that they're able to deal with life.
Yeah.
It can be harsh. Me, I know. Me, I came from a mother who beat me.
Yeah.
You know, because Kiboko was the only way to put you online. Your generation is different. We can't touch you.
Yeah, I was not beaten. I was not beaten. Yeah, for us, that's abuse.
You know, for you, it's abuse. But
so do you think being overly critical of your child is a way of just wanting to fix the issue quickly. Whatever issue you see, you want it fixed quickly. So you want to be harsh so that they get it.
Exactly. And I don't think you do it from a point of abuse. It could look like abuse to this child, because now that's what I'm saying. Times have changed. Now you people think everything is abuse. I have to be gentle with you, or
gentle parenting.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't do any gentle parenting. And there was no gentle parenting.
You told it, not you told, you used to shout.
I will shout at you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I will scream at you. I will beat you if I have to beat you.
Yeah.
But why am I doing that?
Well, yeah, why? Is there not a better way to tell it like a friend, but you're not a friend, right?
No, your mother is not your friend.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that I think where you guys sometimes need to now draw the line. I'm your mother. I am your friend, yes, but I am not going to tell you things as a friend.
Yeah.
There's a way that I need to be authoritative. There's a way that I need to put things out to you that this is wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But you guys want to be sugarcoated. Oh, you know what you did? No. And that is where, when I look at this generation sometimes, I feel sorry for you. Us, we got the whip. And I guess that is why some of us probably are the way we are, like disciplined the way we are.
Yeah.
Maybe some, it affected them.
Yeah.
Wrongly.
Yeah.
And they will say, now my mother is I'm growing up like this because
you can see it has affected her self-esteem.
That's what I'm saying.
It has affected, she's depressed now. So let me say something that is also what I think is true. When you're in that mindset of depression and all of that, everything you think about is negative. So even like you could, because I've been there, you could be telling me something out of the goodness of your heart, Gilda, but because I'm looking at everything through a negative, a depressed perspective, I'm not getting what you're saying. I'm thinking you're on my case.
Yes.
But you're not.
No.
You're just you want me to do things the right way, but
look at it this way. You could wear something that is off.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to an occasion or an event that you need to dress well.
Yeah.
Well meaning
a little bit classier. Yeah.
But you, because this is your style.
Yeah.
Now you want what? To go the way you are.
Yeah.
If I tell you, you'll think I am being critical.
Yeah.
So I guess also you people also need to be in that space where allow to be corrected. Allow for somebody who's been there. I know we are living in different times, but there are some things that will never change. Morals will never change.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Even I feel like when you go against morals, even you feel it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you're trying to push it.
Yeah.
So that it looks like I am the one who's being critical.
Yeah.
Of the situation.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying some little change of mindset.
I think for this girl, I would tell her to go and have a conversation with her mother, and not with the lens of where the negativity is in your heart, and you're looking at everything from a negative perspective, but also to understand why she's telling you what she's telling you. I don't think your mother hates you. No. There's some occasions where it is like that, but
a mother hating their child to the point of
maybe just wanting to terrorize them, that's something I think we'll talk about next time, because there's some people who unfortunately don't have the best mothers, and I've had I always get messages sometimes, like when I post me and you, people are like, oh, I wish I had this kind of relationship with my mom. Me and my mom, we don't get along. She hates me, or we've hated each other. There's some people out there who, for real, the relationships with their mother is very worrying. You know, they've gone through some things, which I know we'll end up talking about as the show goes on, as we get to listen to other people's dilemmas. But there is that thing of mothers being critical of their daughters, and it comes from a place of hate. That's real.
Hate.
It does.
Okay, I maybe you think it's hate, but like you said, it's coming from a negative point of view. So that's why you look at it as hate. Because I don't think there's any mother on this planet who would hate their child to correct them.
Okay.
It's probably what they need to do is have a sit down and have conversations.
Yeah.
Then you will understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also looking at the person who raised you, not also as yes, as the Bible says, they're like your second, God on earth, but they're also human beings.
And they make mistakes.
And they make mistakes.
Yes.
So we need to accept the mistakes that they made, look at the positive that they've done and done for our lives, but also realize that they're human beings also, you know. My mother is just a woman like me, you know. So
and the day you're a mother, you probably get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always tell me that.
Yeah.
So
you'll get it.
I shall see.
You'll get it.
But I've loved having this conversation with you.
Me too.
I mean, just being able to talk about some things that maybe first, now I know that you're worried.
Yes.
Now I know that you're worried, and I know a lot of mothers are also worried out there too. But I want everyone to also know that we shall be sitting down and having this mother and daughter chat every single week. So please stay tuned. We have a lot of different topics to come up, and then I would love to hear your opinion. We'll also be talking about our own journey into this mother and daughter relationship that we've had, because we've had it's been here and there, it's been everywhere.
Like life is.
Right. So please make sure you guys tune in. I hope you've had an amazing time. I hope you managed to listen to something. And please tell us what your opinion is, what you'd want to see from the show, what you've picked up from, this episode. And obviously, tune in, subscribe, like, share. Would really, really appreciate that. Anything you want to say?
No, I'm really grateful that where we are in our lives, we can have conversations like this, because I think they would help a lot of people. And I'm looking forward to many more.
Every week.
Every week.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Ta-da.